You let white women, white men walk up in and out of your cookout. Who care who they marry? But the queer people who look like you and me don't even feel comfortable enough hanging out with their own family because you've othered them and ostracized them to a crazy standard. And that's why a lot of our queer folk are impoverished, mentally unwell, and they're going through many issues.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Just a Girl Show. My name is Janine if you are new here. If you're new, of course, hit the subscribe button. Turn your notifications on so you never miss an episode. And if you're a subscriber, welcome back to the channel. One thing y'all know I don't play about kids. I do not play about kids, and I believe that the world is a dangerous place, and it is trying to corrupt our children each and every day, right? It's trying to confuse our children each and every day, and that is really hard to witness as a parent myself, and trying to make sure that the values, the morals that we have in our home, and what we believe in, and what we believe God and how He wants us to live our lives, and trying to make sure our kids understand it, but also going into the world where the world is saying something totally different. And that's the sad part for our children, that they, it's like you got to really instill this stuff into them to know that when they go into the world, they not to say that you want your kids to be just people who are not, they don't listen, but they can challenge things that they know does not feel morally okay, right? And that can be tough when kids are smaller and they're younger and they're going to schools and daycares and all the things. So I want to share this clip with you guys because this daycare owner, female owned, which most daycares are owned by women, an owner who's a woman, the director who's a woman, typically women are in childcare. But the reality of it is, y'all, these women, and there's been so many cases where these women are running these daycares and they have no idea what they're doing. They're not instilling good things into these children. They're not teaching them the correct things. And they're also they just have this, I could do whatever I want, even with other people's kids, which is crazy, right? You said I could do whatever I want, even with somebody else's kids, is wild. So I'm going to share this first clip of the first part of this video, and we're going to come back and talk about it.
Hello, what's your name?
I'm Madison.
Madison, can I talk to your director, please?
Yes, she's in the restroom and she'll be right out.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello. Are you the director?
Yes.
I'll wait till you get off the phone.
Okay, I'm talking to the owner.
Okay. Do you want to put her on speaker?
Yes. Okay, Shelly, I'm going to put you on speaker, okay?
Okay, so what's your name? You're the director.
Jessica.
You're Jessica, and Shelly is the owner.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Shelly, my name is Misty Hernandez, and I'm the grandmother of CJ and Briella Bryant. And my daughter brings her children here, and we have zero consent on file for your staff to paint our grandson's nails pink. I think that's not good. I think that's caused confusion for kids. I don't care what parent allows you to do that. And I'm still talking. I'm still talking. No, I can't, because you're interrupting me and I'm talking.
I am just finding out about this and I am not happy about it. I don't need you to give me a lecture. I'm going to lecture my staff.
Yeah, because honestly, that's against the law. That is confusion of a child. You do not have any consent form on file to paint his nails.
I need you to calm down right now. Your child was well.
And if I were you, I would stop yelling at me, because your facility is in very big trouble for this.
No, we are not in big trouble.
You do not have consent from my daughter to paint his.
You are welcome to bring that child back in and we can take the nail polish off.
I'm definitely going to do that. I'm also going to record that, because you do not have consent to paint his nails. Your staff is crazy for thinking they can paint a little boy's nails without consent of a mother.
You do not need to yell at me.
You're yelling at me, and you're also cutting me off.
You are coming in and attacking everyone. It is a small child. It is color on his fingernails. And I just said to Jessica, it's not like it's in pink, right? And she told me yes.
It doesn't matter if they did pink or green. You don't have consent to do either color to him.
We had activities going on today, and a lot of parents don't care.
This parent cares, and you have to have a consent in the state of Texas.
So grandmom is obviously, as she should. I don't know where the mama was, but grandmom said, I'm going to go up there because obviously the mom, who knows? And grandmom is clearly just speaking and sharing her issues with her grandson coming home with pink nail polish. They're in the state of Texas with no consent at all. And what does the owner do? Cuts her off and tells her that you're being aggressive. You're being this, you're being that. Huh? Let me talk. She was talking. She was speaking and sharing her issue, and you're not in person and you're on the phone, and she tried to see like, I'm just being made aware of it, and and I'm trying to figure it out myself. But you're also almost giving off that there's something wrong with this grandmother confronting you guys about what you did when you know that you're wrong.
Hi, I'm Shelly, and this is Jessica, the director at Adventure Kids, where we've had a serious problem with a kid that went home with his nails painted. And there was a lot that was left out of the video before me, the owner, was pushed to a point of feeling like my staff was in danger, being an hour away. They were being basically harassed by the grandmother who was not on the account. And what led up to this is when Jessica dealt with the parents when they were leaving.
You know that your staff were wrong. So instead of the woman being super apologetic and, and trying to just hear the person out, because in that situation, you should just know that we got to just listen and take it. And she wasn't even being disrespectful. She was just sharing that, how did this happen, right? How did this become a thing? But I want to share, y'all, because this is the problem, the lack of accountability. That you said that you knew, that you didn't know nothing about it. You didn't, and this is the thing, right? But the fact of the matter is, she still tried to not take accountability for the care and the choice that the staff made. That's the problem.
I let them know what our policy is, that we do call parents of boys and ask them, hey, is it okay if they get their nails done? Some parents are like, yes, absolutely. Some are like, no. We respect what the parents' wishes are. Even if the kid is crying, throwing a fit, they're wanting their nails painted, we still tell them no. Fortunately, we had a staff member that just completely forgot to call, or for whatever reason, just slipped by her.
She said the kid was super excited and she was just trying to make all the kids happy.
Yes.
I personally understand it's a problem. I wouldn't want my kids' nails painted, and I was going to reprimand the staff, but
I also let him know that I would write up the staff that was unacceptable, and that I did understand their concerns. He continued to yell at me, and then the mom starts talking, and then I know you see in her TikToks that the mom was at work, but the mom was not at work. The mom was in the car with the dad, also yelling at me, also making rude comments towards my staff, saying that we have a male here that's probably gay, and that's why her son's nails got painted. And I just kept apologizing, staying calmly, letting her know that it was going to be taken care of immediately. I did not say I would call her later or tomorrow. They continued to yell at me, and then hung up on me. So when they hung up on me, I immediately called one of my other staffs to make sure, so I could know who did it. Hung up, called the owner right away, because I knew it was a serious matter that needed to be.
She was just telling me the information as the grandmother walked in.
I was literally on the phone letting her know what happened, letting her know that I was mad, that I was angry, I was upset with that staff member. I was letting her know that I was going to write her up, and I was also letting her know if she could call the parents and also apologize on the owner's behalf.
As grandma said, you're trying to confuse my grandson. You're confusing them. But it didn't stop there. It got worse, because again, when you're not trying to be accountable, women will tend to just keep going and going and going and make it 10 times worse. I'm gonna share the next part of this video, and let's come back and talk about it.
Being such an asshole. Stop it. I am telling
You just assaulted me by saying that word, and you are being recorded. You are being recorded.
Bobby, I need you to leave, and I am trying to get on to
Are
the
you?
staff
Are you neglecting to take care of this? Because I'm trying to talk to you.
I told you that you can come in and we will buy you nail polish remover. I was going to offer a few hours free, but I do not want you guys coming back because you cannot come in and attack.
First of all, let me tell you this. I wouldn't have to come in and talk to you if your staff would not paint my grandson's nails pink.
You are not even asking what happened and how.
I don't give a damn what happened.
You are not welcome in this center, and I'm going to call the police if you.
I'm going to call the police right now and file a report here because you did that without consent.
I will happily call licensing and email them and report that this child his nails were painted because that was the activity that we did, and the staff made him.
Everybody painted their nails. My granddaughter's nails aren't painted.
No, not everybody, but it was an activity that was going on. I'm trying to get information about this, but I cannot have anyone coming in. What you're doing right now is harassing me and my.
No, you're cussing at me, and I have that recorded.
So the fact that she calls his grandmom an asshole because she's upset and she's bothered. She's upset and she's bothered by the fact that y'all are doing this and you are still trying to talk around. Let me do this. No, you're not even trying to hear the problem. You're then trying to make excuse and say, well, it was an activity and we were doing stuff and all the kids. But like she said, my granddaughter didn't get her nails painted. So what's the agenda? My granddaughter didn't get her nails painted, but my grandson gets his nails painted pink. And I'm going to insert a picture with the baby's face is covered up of the little boy's nails being painted pink. Could you imagine as a parent? I know I couldn't. Because my husband and I are coming up there together to address this. Because what gives you the right to do this? And then to try to say, well, they were just there. We could just take the nail polish off. We were just doing the activity and they were just, again, why wasn't my granddaughter's nails painted? If it was all the kids, why would you not do my granddaughter? Or are you in this facility adding to the destruction of children and their minds being confused by painting this little baby nails pink? Pink. You cannot even trust these people because we live in a world, as I said, everybody has different views on things. I was on a live on TikTok a few weeks ago, and they were talking about what was the story about? I forgot what it was, but the mom said that her son came home and, it was around the time when Obama said that boys need to have a homosexual man in their lives, right? So the mom said her son came home and said the teacher told him it was the teacher's birthday, and he told, what did he tell him? He told him to call him like, sugar daddy or sugar queen or something like that, right? For his birthday. So the mom said the son came home and told the mom, and the son said, I don't like that. I don't like him. And the mom said, I had to talk to my son about that because he cannot like the man for doing that. And they were like, okay, wait, so your son see that there's a problem with this man wanting him to call something that he associates with girls, but your son is wrong. But again, he can maybe say, I don't like him. And she was like, but I would just tell him that he can't be mad at him for wanting to do that. He's a grown man telling your son to call him something that is not appropriate, first of all, right? Second of all, your son understand that that's not for boys. That's what the son is believing. That's not for boys. I'm not going to call you that. But we're adding to the fact that instead of explaining to your child that you're right, that's not for boys. That's for girls. If that's how you're raising your child. Right? If you believe what's for girls is for girls, what's for boys is for boys. And then she said she went up to the school and she told the teacher, that it was not, she didn't want her son it was not right for him to do that. But somebody made a good comment that these women will, if a child come home and says the teacher cursed the teacher out, the teacher called your child their name or did something to your child, you're ready to come up there and fight. If it was a woman that did that to your child. But this gay man says something to your child that you are like, I'm just going to talk to him. We don't have the same energy. We are okay with our kids being confused, and it's unfortunate and it's sad. And that woman is no different. She's no different at all. Just like listening to her. and you're running a daycare with multiple children, what is being taught? That is the scary part. So you have to really, because our kids they going to school, they're going to these programs. You got to really instill in your kids and be honest with them and open with them. We don't live in a world where you can just kind of not call stuff what it is and cover things up. No, you have to be very direct with your kids about what it is. So that way, if you are a little boy, even at the age of 3, 4, 5 years old, you know that that's not for girls. If that's how you being raised. So you ain't about to try to put this on me with no nail polish. I'm going to tell you that ain't for girls. I mean, for boys. And that child will be able to stand their ground a little bit as a toddler, is, from what I'm saying, that they know that that's not for, they're not going to do it. They're not going to allow you to paint their nails. But if you don't know and they aren't teaching them that, and you would never assume that would even happen. Why would I need to tell my kids, sit down and say about nails is not for girls? I mean, not for boys. But you got to tell them about everything. And at this point, there's nothing that can be off limits. Age appropriate, of course, conversations, but you need to talk to your kids, because people out here are trying to taint our children and push their agenda on them, and they can have a stronger agenda on your child if you do not stand your ground about what is important and reiterating this stuff over and over again.
I really want to be clear when I say this, and I'm speaking to black men, black homophobes, black straight men, anybody who thinks that they're not a homophobe and they're a black male or a black woman. I don't care. This is what I have to say to you. You cannot push an agenda that's not normal already, right? Like, pushing they push white women on us. Like, we're used to white women being in our community. We are used to them being adjacent to our community. Any Tyler Perry movie could tell you that. Sinners could tell you that. We're used to having them around. They're always the main supportive characters in movies and shows. They push white women onto us heavily. But somehow you don't care about that. And you don't care about how your cousins and your uncles and your brothers and your sisters and your daddies marry white people, marry into white families, and these white people be coming in and out of the cookout. But you have othered the queer folk in your family, and they don't even feel comfortable coming to the cookout. How you pushing an agenda, a narrative, when the people in the community literally aren't normal? They're not considered norms still. You cannot say the gay agenda is being pushed onto black people when black people aren't even accepting of the agenda. Do you get what I'm saying? And the fact that Obama said, like, black men need gay men in their lives, and black men clip-farmed that and got very angry about it, is telling me that there is no gay agenda being pushed. You guys are very much pushing against accepting queer folk. You let white women, white men walk up in and out of your cookout. Who care who they marry? But the queer people who look like you and me don't even feel comfortable enough hanging out with their own family, because you've othered them and ostracized them to a crazy standard. And that's why a lot of our queer folk are impoverished, mentally unwell, and they're going through many issues. And how many cousins of y'all that cannot come to cookouts? How many cousins you got? Because they're gay, because they've been ostracized. How many gay people can't come to certain things because of certain people are going to be there? How many gay, queer, black folk have ran away, dipped out the house, never to be seen again, go no contact? That's not pushing an agenda. That's trying to get you to normalize it. That's all. And it's normal, by the way. I don't care. It's very freaking normal. You want to be gay, be gay. You want to be straight, be straight. You trying to impose on others is disrespectfully wrong. And to say that they're pushing an agenda when really black men are asking for help, they're crying out for mental health help, and yet they'll be like, I hate gays. You can't hate gays and then want mental health help. You guys can help each other a lot of ways. And it's very annoying, and it's frustrating to me, because I have a very big queer community at home and then in my family, and I do not play that.
The fact that she was trying to not hear where this grandmom's coming from, as if she's like, we're not in trouble, you are. And you need to make sure that this is a thing that nobody gets to just do this to our kids without consent. And just do whatever you want. And then just be like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. It is a big of a deal, because it's my child, not your child. It's my grandchild, not your grandchild. But we are in this world that wants to corrupt our children, that wants to corrupt us as people and confuse us. And we don't need any confusion. It is too wild out here. But this is unacceptable. And women running these businesses, this is what happens. We're just so loose and free, and it could be whatever. It can't be whatever, especially if it's your child, do what you want. But when you run in a facility that has other kids in there, you need to have it ran properly and not pushing your agenda on other kids. Like I said, why you choose the boy to paint his nails pink, but the little girl ain't even have her nails painted? Make it make sense. She said all kids, well, not all, well, not every kid. What was it? An agenda. You thought it was cute, thought it was funny. So I'm just gonna, we got to keep, again, praying for our babies, praying for the community. We got to do our best because this is a problem. And it could be on so many different levels from different things, not just about, just the homosexuality side of things or just confusing in that area of gender wise, but just overall what they're being influenced to think, what they're influenced to think is okay, not okay. Like all of that, we got to be strong in our children's lives and be honest with them and open with them and have open dialogue. It isn't so important. Okay, so drop your thoughts in the comments. If you are a parent, how would you respond to the situation? I would love to hear what you have to say. Hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the conversation, of course. Subscribe to the channel. Join the Patreon. I think this is something that we definitely need to talk about in the Patreon and even a private live about this because we gotta protect our baby. So definitely let's join the Patreon. The link is in the description to join. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.